Welcome back, VA user. In today's video, we are going to cover how to set up the document types and the document sequences. So let's go through with the document type definition. Now, what's basically the document type? The document type is the key that is used to classify accounting documents and distinguish between business transactions to be posted. The document type is entered into the document header and applies to the whole document. The purpose of the document type. There are three major purposes of the document type into the VA system. The first is differentiating between business transaction. The next one is controlling the posting of the account type, like the vendor, the customer, the GL account, and assigning the document number as per the document type and the sequence is set up. Now, what's basically the document sequence into the VA? The document sequence is used to define the different document sequences that are used in your organization. The window includes field for the document sequence name, the description, the start number, the increment, and the prefix and suffix. Document sequences are used to ensure that each document is uniquely identified. When you create a new document, the system automatically generates a number from the appropriate document sequence. And this number is then used to identify the document into the VA system. So that's basically the document sequence. So I'm at my login screen. So let's log into the Idea Sync admin and we'll see how to define a document type. Okay. To define the new document type, you just need to move on to the document type window. Now here, one of the important thing is that all the document type gets generated by the tuning process, and once all the document types are there, thereafter there might be a possibilities, this is the rare cases, but there might be a possibility you need to define a new document type into the system. If you want to define new document type, let's say I do have AR invoice. Okay, this is one of the document type. I want to define AR invoice that is trade and non-trade. Now that can be the requirement from the customer that there would be a certain different series for the trade documents and there's a different series for the non-trade documents. So what I will do in that case, I will use the existing record and I will say trade. Okay, and somebody wants that it should print the same way, then I would say AR invoice trade. My GL category is going to be here. Out of these, it is going to be AR invoice. My document base type is going to be AR invoice. So there is any mistake in terms of the document base type, then you won't be able to see this document there at the AR invoice window or at the invoice customer window. Now thereafter, there are some other settings. So since it is a sales document, so I would mark it as a sales transaction. And thereafter, it is asking me like whether it is a document control or it is not a document control. If I will not mark this, then the system will not ask you the document sequence. If I will mark it true, then system would ask you, which basically the document sequence you want to link. So I would zoom this and will create. Now here my document sequence is there where it is a auto numbering. So I would say trade. Okay, and thereafter what is going to be the current next number, what is the increment, what is going to be the prefix or suffix. It is based on organization level. So here there is a certain code to be applied and thereafter you would be able to define organization wise sequences at this level. So we'll go through with that as well. And do you want to restart your sequence every number? You want to restart every month? So you would be able to mark all these. If it is not, then you would say that's fine. I don't want to do anything here at this level. Okay, so I don't want to do anything presently for this. For the next document, I would showcase you this as well. Now thereafter, if you want to append year as your prefix, you would be able to do so. If you want to append month after year, then you would be able to do so. You just need to define the year and the month separator in that case and the year and month format that you wanted. Okay. So this is how we would be able to define the transaction sequence. So presently I don't want all these, so I would say right, and this is non-trade and I would refresh this, then it is all well. Okay. it is all well. So it all depends based on document base type. Sometimes you just need to mark the return transaction. If you want to overwrite your document sequence on completion, then you would be able to mark that, and you just define a different document sequence. That is a temporary document sequence that comes into the transaction when it is into the drafted stage, and when you complete it, then the right document sequence would be picked up by the system, and that would overwrite the previous number. So that is basically overwrite sequence on completion. Similarly, if you want to overwrite the date, sometimes what happens, I generated the transaction, the user generated a transaction, but they used to process the transaction later on. So if that is the case, and you wanted that the date would change automatically by the system, and then this is the setup you would be able to do at the document type window. So I don't want all these, so I would save this. Now there might be a possibility, I do have multiple organizations, right? If I have a multiple organization, then there might be a possibility I just need to create the multiple either the document types or a single doc sequence. I would define in a way that a single doc sequence is sufficient for, and then the right results for would be derived by the system, and I need not to do much effort. Okay, so that is possible somewhere into the VA system. Let me showcase you how it would be possible. So here one of the important thing that I haven't showcased so far is basically your posting document type. So what is going to be a posting document type that you need to select here? How to define the posting doc type, how to define the account localization rules, that is going to be another separate part that we will cover in some other video. So presently you just need to link, and based on this posting document type, the system used to post the transaction. So it is very, very important. However, this field is not marked as mandatory, since there are customers which don't want the accounting module. There are customers which want the accounting module as well. So if the financial management module is installed, you would be able to see this field at the level of the document type. So it is done. So once it is done, then it's all fine. Now suppose I do have a different many transaction for trade in my system, and I want to define my document sequence in a way that for all organizations the system will pick up the different sequence, and I need not to do anything. So in that case, you just need to mark as organization level, and you just need to mention the code AD_ORG_ID. So it is very important. Okay, how you would be able to figure out this? You would be able to figure out by clicking onto the organization, say preference, copy this and paste it. So I would paste here. Okay, so once it is done, then I do have the sequence number definition. This tab is enabled, and now I would be able to define my sequence number. Okay, so for which organization I want to define, I would be able to define. So here is my HQ organization. My year and month is going to be, I would say it would come in this way. Then I think not this way, it would come in this way. My current next number is going to be 1 for HQ. If there is any prefix, then I just need to define a prefix here. Okay, so let's verify this whether we have did the right setup. So before I will do this, go to the cache reset process, do the cache reset, and open the customer. Okay, so we are at the AR invoice. Then I would select extensive my customer as Plains Holdings. My payment method is check, and we'll save this, and we'll see what basically the number generated here. So you would be able to see the number is getting populated by the system is HQ/10001 that was defined at the level of the sequence. So you would be able to see here. Okay, so it is, the next number is this. So in this way you would be able to define for the next, let's say for the store, I would say again hyphen, and it is 2001, and my prefix is str/. So if I will generate the next invoice here, then I will select the store. Basically you just need to log in into the respective organization and then do the transaction. So just to showcase you how it is working, I would again say Plains Holdings, my payment method is check, and I would save this. Now we'll see the number is str/2001, and this is based on the setup done at the level of the sequence number tab. So this is how you would be able to define your document type. And if I want to define a new non-trade document type, I would be able to do so at the level of the document type by copying the same record, and I would mention it as non-trade. Okay, rest of the settings get copied by the system. So update your posting document type. So my posting doc type remains same. Update your doc sequence. So if you want to define the new doc sequence, you would zoom and you would create your AR non-trade, right? So I would copy it. That is again one of the option, or I would be able to generate manually. So that is all depends on you how you want to configure your document sequence or the transaction sequence. So that is how you would be able to define the document types and the document sequence into the VA system. In this video, that's all. I hope you like this video. If this video helps you to configure all these things into the VA system, then I would request to share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.